weekly dose of politics,
snark, and heavy metal music.
All rise, motherfuckers.
For your hosts, Brandon
and Matt.
Hide the rum.
Performer hasn't been provided with a script. As a matter of fact, I have been permitted to choose my own words and discuss my own ideas regarding the choice that we face in the next few weeks. I have spent most of my life as a Democrat. I recently have seen fit to follow another course.
The defense policy of the United States is based on a simple premise. The United States does not start fights. We will never be an aggressor.
As for the peace that we would preserve, I wonder who among us would like to approach the wife or mother whose husband or son has died in South Vietnam and ask them if they think this is a peace that should be maintained indefinitely. There can be no real peace while one American is dying someplace in the world for the rest of us. We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening. Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You and I must protect and preserve freedom here, or it will not be passed on to our children, and it will disappear everywhere in the world.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. And this idea that government is beholden to the people, that it has no other source of power except the sovereign people, is still the newest and the most unique idea in all the long history of man's relation to man. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. Regardless of their sincerity, their humanitarian motives, those who would trade our freedom for security have embarked on this downward course. They knew that governments don't control things. A government can't control the economy without controlling people. And they know when a government sets out to do that, it must use force and coercion to achieve its purpose.
We, the people. We, the people, tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We, the people, are the driver. The government is the car. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do.
This administration in Washington has betrayed the working men and women of this country.
I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts.
A recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. And recovery is when President of the United States loses his.
Someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. The martyrs of history were not fools. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the machine. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm being attacked by a microphone.
I had issues with it Tuesday.
Dude, it's like it's... Yeah,
Yep, there it goes.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that. It needs tightened, I think.
It's actually pulling out of the desk.
Ah.
Yeah, it's pulled out of the desk.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm about to lose the microphone. It's literally going to pull out of the desk and fall over. Oh, what a great way to start a fucking show.
Huh.
Yeah, look at it. It's gonna go down.
Actually coming out.
Well, fuck. You want to talk for a little bit while I figure this out? Go right ahead, as you were.
Damn. Is it like the bolts or the
Yeah,
screws?
they come
Everything's stripped out. Ooh. Yeah, that just pulled right out of there.
Yeah, talk about something, would you?
Yeah. I don't want to talk about anything that we have scheduled yet.
Yeah, this is a big problem, dude.
Because I had issues with it Tuesday, but I moved it a certain way and it stayed. Oh.
Okay, this is not good.
I don't know if that one will reach over there.
What the fuck am I gonna... I'm sorry.
Take number 3. Take number 3. It'll reach over to you. Ho ho, if you're listening.
Your shit's broken.
You're going to have to do something with your microphone. She be broketed.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Testicles, 1, 2. Alrighty then. Okay. What a fucking good way to start a show. Yeah, hello everybody. Yes, I am aware I am bald. And there's a fox hat. Where do we see that at?
Fox hat? What?
Yeah, we don't have a fox hat.
Somebody's smoking stuff.
What we have is broken shit, though. All right. Yeah, welcome to our world. And now that I'm completely flustered, let's get started, huh? Well, once again, listener Sean's girlfriend has made the news. And you won't believe what for now. I mean, nothing really shocks us with her, honestly. But, you know, hey, this is kind of fucking weird. Even for her.
Just a little.
You want to tell us about it a little bit?
Apparently, she was irate that an elite New York City school had only accepted 7 new black students, and she said it was a sign of racism and injustice. So, in short, what she is actually saying is that working hard to get into a good school is racist. So is that like, that's almost like playing the whole participation thing. Well,
Yeah.
these kids want to go to school, so let them in.
Yeah, let's give the asthmatic kid who runs the wrong way to second base and pisses himself, you know, a trophy because he just showed up.
Yeah.
What happened to doing things on merit? I mean, I know I had to work my ass off.
It's dying. They're killing it.
And how is it racist? You know, I don't get, you know, the correlation because only 7, you know, but hey, I'm sorry to tell you, but if you don't perform, if you don't put in the work, and if you don't make, you know, you don't make it, you don't make it.
Okay, this is an elite school. It's not cut out for everybody. Not everybody's cut out for certain things. Are you having some issues with the camera and the other microphone?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep myself centralized. Hey, motherfuckers. But again, say again, my dog is barking. Smart ass. Again, we have to remind you that people actually voted for this woman, and they thought this was a good idea. Not only that, I actually kind of, it's very terrifying to have someone like that in government, but at the same time, I have to thank them. Thank you for giving us Cortez the potato. She's fantastic. She gives us, we don't have to write anything anymore. It just, Cortez is back.
Yeah.
Just pop up with it. Yeah, but the buy your kid into Harvard thing. We already talked about that, unfortunately. Shoot.
But he's got Sean's got a point. All these other kids can go; they can buy their way in.
Yeah, I understand what he's saying, but think about this. This is supposed to be a lawmaker. This is supposed to be someone who's, now in government, who does not understand anything about her job.
Mm-hmm.
That literally said it's education inequality because people didn't get into the school. So what she's saying is, okay, we have to take, there should be a colored quota, is what she's saying. You have to take so many Hispanics. You have to take so many, so many, black children. You have to take so many of this, so many of that, so many of these different races. Even if they don't make it on merit, even if they don't show the initiative to get into the school to begin with, just take them. To hell with the system. It's only supposed to be fairness, right? Fairness.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Whatever, dumbass.
I think she just feels left out because nobody bought her way into college, and apparently she does not have enough brain cells to understand anything. So maybe she just feels in a deep level with the ones that didn't do the work. Because we don't know these kids, so we can't say these kids are stupid. We can't say these kids are ignorant and they have the inability to learn. But we can say that she does. And this is getting annoying, man. I'm used to facing the other direction, so this is kind of uncomfortable for me.
Well, this school, it consists of mainly Asian students.
Uh-oh.
So, what?
How'd that happen?
It's based on merit.
Motherfuckers are smarter than us. But,
and she has on here 68% of all New York public school students are black or Latino. And that's cool.
That's fine.
But it's like offering, a job promotion to somebody who just doesn't give a rat's ass. They don't do their work. Why are you going to waste time on letting just...
Why don't you just say it for what it is? It's like a union.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get the ones that do not perform, don't do anything at all, and they're perfectly fine while you're busting your ass, and then you get fired for something stupid while they're over there, masturbating in the corner.
Right.
And they're safe. Perfectly safe. Nothing's going to happen to that person. Yeah. Which is why I don't like unions. But again, we have to talk about Cortez, and it makes you think of other things, though, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it kind of make you think about the whole new Democratic Party platform and what they're trying to pull off?
And what they're trying to pull off and push? Yeah.
I'm doing everything I can to make this better, trust me. motherfucker. Okay. It just went limp dick. All right, let's try this again.
What'd you do? Did you get...
Wait. By the way, Rode microphones are absolutely fantastic. I suggest them to anybody. Just don't get them for their weight.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to try and throw it and kill somebody with it. Because this son of a bitch is heavy. But it's a fantastic microphone. Anyhow, back to what we were saying. You ever notice that the Democrats didn't care about the Electoral College? In fact, they were for it until Hillary lost.
Right.
Until Donald Trump won. So now they want to abolish the Electoral College, and they've come up with a few other things. Like what?
Like lowering the voting age.
Great.
Which I believe they want to lower it down to 16.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny, because they think that if you're 18, you're not capable of being able to have a gun. So they want to raise it to 21. You're not mature enough. That's the word I was looking for. You're not mature enough to have a gun. But we want to lower the voting age from 18 to 16. Does that make any sense? You're not mature enough to have a gun, but you're mature enough to vote.
Yeah,
what the hell?
Yes, listener Sean, I know the microphones pick up every vibration and wobble. I am sorry that one of them decided to take a dump and try to kill me a minute ago. So I had to switch over, but you're absolutely correct. I mean, think about it this way. At 16, one kid said they went and bought a lobster and put a rope around it and walked it around the neighborhood. This is what 16-year-olds do, and they want them to be able to vote because they're running out of voter base is what's going on.
Right.
They're running out of voter base. That's why they do not want laws against illegals voting. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, especially in the wonderful state of fucking Illinois, you can go to your local DMV and get an ID or driver's license for an illegal. And then what happens when they get the ID or driver's license, which they shouldn't have because they're not a citizen?
They'll be able to vote.
Motor Voter Registration Act. That's exactly what they're doing. They're doing it on purpose so that way they can get these people to vote. And now they want 16-year-olds who just figured out what their special purpose was for to vote for an election. If they want to keep moving shit up, if they want to keep moving everything up, since they, drinking at 21 when I think it should be 18, because if you can carry a fucking machine gun into battle, you can get a damn shot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know where I'm going. Go ahead and go. You know what? I see the wheel. Go ahead.
Well, I like what
the wheels are turning.
Sean just posted on here. He goes, "Would a newly minted 16-year-old voter be able to enter into contract?"
Yeah, I know. Big M. It used to be 18. Can we go back to those days? I mean, can we just go like Germany and just let anybody drink?
As long as you can see above the bar.
That's pretty much the rule, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But doesn't that fuck up the dwarves? You have a 47-year-old dwarf. You can't see above the bar. Fuck you, I'm 47 years old. Anyhow, go ahead.
Be coming in platform. Platform shoes.
As you were carrying on. I'm 5'6", so fuck off.
I don't know. The Dems are just, they're like you said, they're fighting for air is what they're doing. Because they're bound and determined to try to get the 2020 election.
And they are. That's the only desperation they have. They realize that now their platform is not working, and it doesn't work with people who, I don't know, have an intelligent thought in their head, or people that know, people that have read things, learned. anything about the system or about what's going on.
Right. And you got more people who are waking up.
Exactly. And I'm sorry because it gives me just your screen name. It doesn't give me your actual name, so I'm gonna have to call you by your screen name. Exactly. Excited. Matt, can you read that from here? Says, as people get older, they realize that the liberalist policies do not work in the real world, and that is absolutely 100% correct. In fact, I had a big blowout with somebody over not only just the motor voter registration and lowering the age and stuff like that, but then we got onto firearms. I'm like, listen, and we talked about it earlier, before the show, the Federalist Papers,
right?
The Anti-Federalist Papers. And there was a lot in there that that pertains to obviously the Second Amendment, but also against radical factions. Radical factions, in the Federalist Papers means parties, Republican, Democrat, and that's why the Republican Party actually came along. And then people are like, okay, both of them are getting radical, so now we want an independent party. But then you come up with like the Green Party, which might as well be the Cortez Party, because most of them are stupid. But then you have people like us who just want limited government and want and less taxes and be left the fuck alone, which is the constitutionalists.
Mm-hmm.
And be it if you want to call us whatever whatever you want, we're constitutionalists, but you can say, oh, libertarian. But I'm not necessarily libertarian because we like war. We're warlike people. We will shoot a motherfucker in the face if we have to. So we're not exactly libertarian. If we need to go to war, we're going to go to war, bitch. And we'll get to that later, right?
Right.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. Is there anything else you want to add to this one?
I don't. Well, what I was saying earlier is that I think more people are waking up. I had a conversation with a couple of people, and that was one of their things was that there's not enough people awake.
Right.
Well, they're getting there. That's why alternative media has
alternative media.
Yeah,
What the fuck
has
is media?
Exploded. So the best you can do is show them the truth. If they don't accept it, then move on to the next person.
Hey, you want to know something scary about that?
What's that?
We've been around since before it got popular.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
We're old motherfuckers. Okay, we've been around. Well, at least I've been around for more than 8 years. Matt has been around for at least almost 6 now. 5, 6.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I've been podcasting for quite a while, and not just podcasting. I mean, we've been pretty much stomping the shit out of whatever we can. Be it going to the Capitol and pissing them off. I've been on the phone with them several times and gotten aggravated. I'm going to throw that little fucker through the wall if he didn't. Don't you look at me like that. Did you see that shit?
Oh, it doesn't surprise me. He gets a little feisty sometimes.
He gave me the evil. We got a desktop robot.
Yep.
Hey, Vector. Sleep. Thank you, you little fucker.
I was actually surprised he obeyed you. Sometimes he don't.
Yeah, sometimes he's like a fucking 2-year-old. He's like,
just ignores you.
No. Anyhow, we're gonna go ahead and take a break so we can get ready for the next one. But I hope everybody likes what we've chosen, because how we feel is basically like the title says, iron strengthens iron.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we want to stick together. We want you to stick. We want you to stick with us. Our approach is much different than, let's say, Antifa. Okay, we want you to see our faces. We want you to know who we are, and we don't want you guys to be afraid to do it. Okay, we've been saying that for 5-6 years now.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to show your face. Don't be afraid to speak out and do what you have to do. Okay, or as Mr. Brian Lang on Live Truth Radio, stand up, speak out, and get involved.
Right.
That's what we need to do. And people need to, nut up or shut up. I personally don't give a fuck if the political people like me. I do not care if they know who I am. I am unafraid.
Yeah, and you know, piggybacking off of that is like, you know, I really don't care if you like me or not. I'm not put on this earth for you to like me. So. I'm just here, I drink, and I know things.
All right. Now, that being said, I hope you guys, especially the new listeners here, libertarian doesn't mean pacifist. I know, because we call them people pacifists. I apologize, Mr. Sean. I hope you guys like heavy metal, and I don't mean any heavy metal. We are going to go with death metal because it fits our narrative of what we're saying right now. So enjoy this shit.
Hey lefties, liberals, and progressives. This is not a safe space. I repeat, this is not a safe space.
If you are one of those squishies who are easily offended, put on your safety pins, pussy hats, and leave this radio station. Or you can free yourself and get educated.
Well, hell yeah! I tried to twist him up, but he wouldn't have it. Hell no. This old boy's wild. We about to have to keep this one.
You are listening to the Machine Radio Show with your hosts, Brandon
And Matt.
Talking about a bunch of hobos with fingers in each other's pooper in a stranger's car with talk radio playing really loud. It's going to be a nice evening.
Okay, shit just got real weird. I think I'm gonna need a safe space.
What the? Are those friends of yours, Matt?
Oh, hell no.
Are you sure?
Oh, shut your dumpster and start the show already.
Well, all right, you pissy pants. Let's do everything you want to do. I heard that. And we are back, and as it is tradition for this fucking show, because we're a bunch of boozers. Woohoo! We're not alcoholics. They go to meetings. We got to have our shots. By the way, if you can't see that, that's the official Machine Radio Show shot glass. And if you would like one, what is it, next Wednesday?
I believe, yeah.
Next
I think so.
Yeah. Well, next Wednesday, I will be at iGold, Illinois Gun Owner Lobby Day, and I will have several shot glasses with me. So if you would like one, all you have to do is basically play the game. You got to find me. You find me, tap me on the shoulder. Don't do it from behind because you'll probably get punched in the throat.
Just Goose's butt.
Yeah. Hey, don't start the engine if you ain't going to take it for a drive. But find me, and you can win the Machine Radio Show shot glass, because I'll be giving a few of them out. And we have a new one that says, Sean, yeah, I'll have to put some booze in it to make it look better, but it says shove gun control up your ass. I got 2 of those available, and they'll probably be given away via the website, actually. Sean, can you say that again? Did you mean, seriously, did you mean, Cannibal Corpse? Has Sean went to the dark side?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering.
Have we twisted him?
Excellent. Issue order 66.
And, I was told that I was... Oh, yeah, you got that, huh? Yeah, we'll look at that later. I see the list. I keep forgetting to tell you that that Big M Homestead is actually Al, Trucker Al.
Oh,
I keep forgetting.
Change his name.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to tell you that. Because every time they pop up, and actually it took me off guard for a little bit too, didn't it? Because I forgot who it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got the memory of a goldfish, okay? I don't remember all these three names.
Sometimes. I was like, who is this? Who am I talking to?
Anyhow, what's this one for? Because we're going to be talking about guns anyway. How about to the people, the NRA?
Yes.
Because the NRA is the people?
Yes.
Yes?
Right.
Okay. There you go. Now, to get both barrels blazing, so to speak.
No pun intended.
We have a new Democratic frontrunner, apparently, that wants to run for the presidency, yeah?
Yeah.
And that would be, no shit, one from New York, a Democrat from New York, no surprise there. The last name of Gillibrand, yeah? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's who we got. Oh, boy. Kirsten Gillibrand, Democrat of New York. You want to go ahead and lead off on this? And I'm going to go ahead and get the sound soundbite that I need here.
Let's see. Where should we start?
Just go with the first one.
Let's see. Firearms reporter torches this New York liberal over her insane anti-NRA remarks. Nice.
It was your beer that did it. Anyhow, go ahead.
I take that as a compliment. It's not what they don't know. I'm sure they do know by now. They have to. But for the sake of the narrative, they need to peddle straight garbage about firearms to get their base drummed up. At the same time, the left could very well be that brain dead about firearms. Yeah.
You want me to no, go ahead.
I was going to say, we've in the past have gone over some of the crap that they have thrown out.
No shit. Do you want me just to go ahead and play the clip? Because it has to do with them being intellectually dead between the years.
Let's do it.
Okay, it's only 30 seconds long. This is actually Kirsten Gillibrand talking to her base about gun control.
And unfortunately, because the gun manufacturers only care about gun sales, they oppose the common sense reform that can save lives. They want to oppose universal background checks because they want to sell an assault rifle to a teenager in a Walmart, or to someone on the terror watch list, or to someone who's gravely mentally ill with a violent background, or to someone with a criminal conviction for a violent crime. They want to sell those weapons. That's why they oppose universal background checks.
Yeah, no, that's not what they've ever said at all.
Personally, I think you're a fucking idiot.
Anyhow, to just go right off of that right away. Universal background checks, nobody's ever said no to them, really. The only reason what they have is because of certain concessions that they put in with the bill that would screw over everybody. And, well, she's completely insane on this. Because even Smith and Wesson and H&K and stuff like that, they've all spoken out and said, listen, we don't want these getting in the wrong hands of the wrong people either, and we certainly don't want to push them to to people on a terrorist watch list. Really, is that what she's got?
Kind of reaching out there.
Yeah, but go ahead with the article, would you?
Oh, excuse me.
Since we didn't have notes on this, we're reading off of an article. I apologize for that. Hey, Anthony, what's your laws over there?
Yeah, that would be something to know about.
Oh, well, and Anthony just responded before I even got that question out to him. Do you guys think gun control is a main issue in your elections? Yes, it's very much important to us because it is in our Constitution, and well, I prefer having a firearm, don't you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, look at what's going on in Venezuela. They stripped them of their guns first.
Yeah, now they're curb stomping their citizens,
starving them.
Yes, Anthony, I would have to say it is very important to us, and that's the reason why we love this country, and that's the reason why we love who we are, and that's the reason why anybody who knows about firearms, period, especially when it comes to the United States, is the fact that there's been no successful invasion of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as one Admiral Yamamoto put it during World War II, there'd be a rifle behind every blade of grass. Now, to say that, to kind of go further on that before we get back into the article, the Japanese did in fact try. Most people don't know that. Most people don't know that the Japanese actually tried they didn't just bomb Pearl Harbor. They tried to enter the United States, and they tried to do it through Alaska because they thought it was going to be the most easy direction possible to get through because it's the most sparsely populated.
Right.
They found out that a ragtag group of National Guardsmen using their own rifles, by the way, which, Anthony, were hunting rifles, stopped them dead in their tracks. And I understand that. I wish honestly, for your sake, that Ireland was a little bit different when it comes to firearm policies. If you ever come here, Anthony, look me up, look us up. We'll take you out. We'll take you out to my personal gun range and show you the joys of shooting targets, but also get a chance to educate you on, on how this country was founded and why we put so much stock in firearms. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we can do that.
We can do that.
All right, you want to go ahead and go with the article?
Well, kind of going off of what we just heard off that clip, gun manufacturers also really don't sell automatic rifles. That gets tossed around a lot by the liberals. We got to ban fully automatic weapons. They're already banned.
You can't ban them any farther.
Come on.
They're not actually banned. But I'll tell you what, they do everything but stick their fist up your ass and check for that, that cheeseburger you ate in 1986. And they're extremely expensive. I mean, just if you wanted a real M16, a fully automatic M16, it would cost you almost $15,000. So your average person is not going to have it. No, Trucker Al, he is on, what's that one? Mixer?
Yes, that's Mixer.
Anthony is on Mixer, Trucker Al, so I apologize for you not being able to see his chat. I wish it would kind of mix together. And I think Sean died of excitement, but go ahead.
What was it she said about opposing background checks? Nobody's really opposed background checks. Or what I like to hear is, we got to close the background loophole. There is no freaking
the gun show loophole.
There is no loophole. Every gun sale has a background check. Even Walmart will do one on you.
Yeah. And just so you know, even especially in the state of Illinois, you have a FOID card, Firearms Identification Card. They also go through several other steps to make sure that you are legal to own. And it's not our fault if the system itself actually fails. Because it doesn't matter what state you're in, you are automatically pushed through the NICS system, the NICS system. Okay? And if, let's say, the military, if you're dishonorable discharge, if they do not report that, it doesn't go in the NICS system, you can own a gun. So it's a system problem. It is not us.
And that's something I was going to say is that what we've been finding out here lately is that the federal government has failed in following its own procedures because, they didn't enter in somebody into the system that should not have had a firearm. They let them slip by, or maybe somebody. We're big promoters of the see something, say something. I'm trying to think of an example. I can't think of one real quick enough. Somebody reports, hey, this kid's talking about shooting up the school. They call the police. Police don't do anything about it. Or the FBI didn't do anything about it. Well, guess what happens a few days later? The kid walks in and shoots up the school. Who failed?
Yeah, we've had several instances where that's actually happened with these school shootings and stuff like that. Because I can't believe I'm going to say this, but one thing that media has gotten wrong is certain things should not be overly reported.
Right.
Because what happens is you have copycats.
Mm-hmm.
And even talking with our friend Anthony here. I've learned quite a bit about the IRA, which is, by the way, pretty cool. I started reading in on that. Off on a small tangent here. One thing that people need to know about me, especially, is if I get interested in something, I will constantly look at it. I will seek it out and I will read it. I watched videos about the IRA. I've watched, I've read about them and stuff like that. And same thing with things that happen here. And it's not hard to find a pattern if you look hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
And most of it is copycats. In fact, a lot of them cite the reason why they did what they did is because of someone else.
Right.
So, but go ahead, carry on.
And that was something, I was going to kind of say something along the same lines, like in my line of work, if we get somebody that, comes out and attempts to do something stupid, it's normally people who are off their medication and what's constantly in the news all the time, So, okay. I thought that went in my glass there for a minute. Bug. I can see it, and I'm like, that is not in my glass.
Dude, I don't know what alcohol content you got here, but I'm feeling already halfway fucked up from it.
I got it wrote down. I'm just going to say,
joking,
I got it wrote down,
you know.
and because I can't tell you, I haven't done the calculations on it.
But go ahead with the article. What do we got on the article? We've already heard what she has to say, and like I said, Sean must have died of excitement because he hasn't said anything. And listener Cheryl, I believe, is actually, when I talked to her earlier, she was actually in the hospital, so I don't know what's going on.
Oh, really?
So, Cheryl, if you're listening, I hope everything's okay. But go ahead.
Terror watch list. That can be kind of a gray area, in my opinion.
Well, it is a gray area.
Because you can get somebody on there that really isn't, meaning to harm anybody,
Well, remember, one of us sitting in this room was on a person of interest list.
Yeah, I know.
It was me. I was on.
We were all associated too. We're like, hey, we all made the list. Yes.
Yeah, one of our friends went to go for a job, and apparently I became a person of interest. Because when they did his background check, I became a person of interest.
Your name threw a red flag.
You know what that means? That means I'm doing the right thing.
Yes.
That means that I'm actually saying the right thing. And I'm ruffling a few feathers, which is exactly my job.
Mm-hmm.
But
why in the world would we even want to allow somebody, a terrorist to have weapons? Or allow them to have training camps in our country?
Yeah, let's not go with that again.
Yeah, I know, because we talked about that before, but...
Go ahead.
Excuse me. But that's why our system, that's why our rights, they work. But, Democrats, and this again is in my own personal opinion, is, they want to strip us of our guns. Because, hey, a population that can't defend itself is more easily controlled.
Like Venezuela.
Yeah. And I don't know if the government knows that or not, but we're all watching that very closely.
I mean, like Anthony said, Ireland has strict gun laws. Unless you're a hunter, you don't really have a gun. But at the same time, that means the hunter still has a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Venezuela, you are not allowed to have a firearm at all.
Correct. I'm kind of curious what Cortez would say about this.
Do you really want me to?
I'm just curious.
Oh, she would think of something. Trust me. And not just stopping with gun control. Kirsten Gillibrand says she has a lot of ideas. And one of them not only is, obviously, we heard the cut where we want to sell guns to degenerates and children.
And terrorists.
Yeah, and terrorists. But we also want to, let's go in with this one. Her immigration reform is insane. She said we need comprehensive immigration reform. If you are in this country now, you must have the right to pay into Social Security. Yeah, she said that.
Not if you're
to pay your taxes and to pay in the local school system. She believes that illegal immigrants who are not here, obviously legally because they are illegal and are not citizens, should get a cut of your Social Security, which, by the way, you pay into your entire life.
Mm-hmm. That we're more than likely not going to see when we retire.
And she wants to provide a pathway of citizenship for every illegal immigrant currently in the country, which means that basically about 23 million people would be eligible for amnesty. Do you know how dangerous that is?
That's very dangerous.
You know, I don't know the rules are what the rules are in Ireland, Anthony, about immigration, but I know most countries, other than ours, apparently, are very, very stringent.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely stringent. And I am assuming by now, Anthony, that I just wonder. Oh, I think he logged off. That's too bad because I wanted to ask him about how bad of an accent we have to him. But again, you know, this is why you would not want Gillibrand in office. Not only does she want to go against pretty much everything we stand for when it comes to the Second Amendment, and she believes that the NRA is a terrorist organization, not knowing that the NRA is the people. I'm the NRA. He's the NRA.
Mm-hmm.
But she wants illegals to have a cash say in your money. She wants them to be able to receive Social Security and easily become a citizen even without background.
Well, she also is calling for to abolish. She's with those few people that are wanting to abolish ICE.
Right, and she says, I believe we need to protect families who need help, and ICE isn't doing that. It's become a deportation force because ICE is exactly that.
That's what it was set up for.
That's what it's for.
You're here illegally? Well, they come get you and deport your ass.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, shit. Oh. Maybe it was Trucker Al that bailed on us. I don't know, but... Hey, just out of curiosity, Anthony, what do you think about, well, since you're still here, what do you think about our accents? Do we sound like a bunch of fucking rednecks to you? And what kind of music are you hip to? You never know. We might have it on here.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's heavy metal, we'll have it. Because we're going to be going to a hard break here soon. We got to kind of break things up a little bit.
I kind of like this that Gillibrand said. I think it's amusing. You know, she says we need to separate immigration issues from criminal justice. Well, if you're here illegally, isn't that a criminal?
That'd be a criminal offense, would it not be?
Yeah. So how do you separate that?
I don't know. Send them back through ICE. See, she's going against her own words.
Right.
Yeah. A little bit.
And if this policy goes through, that's going to be extremely dangerous because now it's going to make the U.S. a magnet for even more illegal immigration. And that's something that we're trying to stop right now. So I don't know. Some of these people.
You know, I dig Led Zeppelin too, but that is not what we would play on here.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin's good, but yeah, we normally do a lot of death metal.
Yeah, that's long before our time. We love it. We love Led Zeppelin. They're just not our flavor.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with something new, and yes, it is hardcore. It's considered hardcore metal, not death metal. But the message is good.
Yep. So like it.
If you don't like it, I apologize. Not really. It's my show. Our show. But, all right. We'll be back in a few minutes.
to the past. So much shit in my head, all that you can't understand. Take away my self-destruction, take away the pain I've seen, take away all my worry, never giving up on me. After everything, everything we've been through, I'm only stronger for the hardships we went through. After everything, everything we've been through, I'm only stronger for the hardships fought through. We rise and we fall, we gain and we grow. Another lesson learned, I guess. Where we're headed, I don't know. Wonder where the last years went, running on a twisted plan. All he ever needed was someone that could understand. After everything, everything we've been through, I'm only stronger for the hardships we went through. After everything, everything we've been through, I'm only stronger for the hardships fought through. Even though they tried to drop the strength to the ground, you don't have what it takes to break us down. Even though they tried hard to break apart. All the pain that you caused made me strong. After everything, after everything, never giving up on you. After everything, everything we've been through, I'm only stronger. Our ship's coming fast, catching up the sins of the past. I'm only stronger for putting trust in you.
It's time for a random thought from the Machine Radio Show. This is Brandon from the Machine Radio Show. Isn't sex kind of like playing bridge? If you don't have a good partner, you better have a good hand. This has been your random thought from the Machine Radio Show. Sorry, that was not supposed to be played yet, but I had to play something. It's true, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I say so.
You know, that's kind of disturbing. It's a good thing I'm left-handed because I got the tribal eye on my right hand.
Mm.
That means that I'd be watching myself pound one out. That can't be a good thing. All right, where the fuck were we? Oh, that's right. Jim Acosta apparently had a fit, didn't he?
Yes.
He suffered a meltdown on air because Trump didn't call him an oppressor.
Oh.
Hey, just because we had to let you in doesn't mean we had to fucking call for you. But go ahead.
Apparently, Acosta has made it clear that he's not interested in actually reporting the news. We've known this for a while. All he cares about is that he's gotten in several shouting matches with various Trump officials as well as Trump. And he's ended up on the losing end each time. I still love it when he got thrown out.
I know, but go ahead.
It doesn't seem to faze him, though. He just keeps on putting his foot in his mouth and doing whatever he can to make Trump look bad. Yes, because we see this quite often. And again this week, Acosta, once again, has made himself part of the story. You know, because as a reporter, you're not supposed to do that.
No. As we do it, what a reporter is supposed to do, what a journalist is supposed to do, is to reflect their time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not doing that. He's reflecting, well, his time in his own little world, but not the actual story. But go ahead.
Hold on a minute. That's pretty... okay, yeah. You know, he made himself part of the story by spreading fake news about Daily Caller reporter. I ain't even going to attempt to try that name. But it was another reporter. For no reason, Acosta went after a reporter from a conservative outlet for no reason other than it was a conservative outlet. Because he has big problems with the conservatives. And he honestly ended up being dishonest with his attack. Let's see if I can pull this up here.
He's still butthurt, and he's still pushing the whole thing. Where the president called his network fake news because they doctor videos, they doctor sound bites, they do everything that they can.
How many times have we seen them when something happens, they report on it, and then like an hour later, everything they reported wasn't even correct.
Yeah, they have to, and they've done more retractions than any other news source on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe aside from Al Jazeera, but but you know what I'm saying. Go ahead.
Jim Acosta, CNN. The thing that has to be noted, and we'd be remiss if we didn't note it, when the president of Brazil mentioned the term fake news, he got a smile and a nod from President Trump. And this is something that we've seen since President Trump came into office and called this network fake news, referred to the press as the enemy of the people. This is a virus that is spreading around the world. Oh, God. Acosta, come on, man.
What a bitch.
When you have the president of Brazil calling the press fake news, he is trying to essentially, in a sycophantic sort of way, suck up the president of the United States. There's no other way of putting it, and trying to emulate him down, as they call him in Brazil, the Trump of the tropics.
Wah! I'm sad about stuff. Wah!
Or maybe it's the simple fact that the president of Brazil knows what fake news is and knows that you're a lying sack of crap.
A little bit.
And you know what? That whole thing that Acosta said right there, that's not reporting. That's commentary. And it's fine to do that on an opinion show on primetime, but not when you're supposed to be delivering facts, like on your news show because you're a reporter. I mean, come on.
You don't want him to do his fucking job now, do you?
Yes, I want him to do his job.
Oh, come on. That's not Acosta's style, though.
Well, then he needs to get out of his newsroom and join an opinion show on primetime then. Or maybe he needs to start his own podcast.
Or maybe he should stop being a whiny little bitch.
I want Acosta to do his own podcast so we can call in.
Like, by the way, are you a eunuch? Does everybody know you're a gilding?
Yeah.
Does your wife know you're a bitch? I mean, I'm assuming that he's married, unless, of course, he buggers other guys. I don't know. Do you know anything about that?
I have no idea. I don't know if the man's married or not.
I don't know about his sexual orientation either, and I really don't care. I just know he definitely is seemingly a little limp-wristed.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not a bad thing. I mean, we're going to hurt people's feelings again.
Too bad.
The alphabet soup community is going to be pissed off and come after us.
The alphabet soup.
What the fuck else do you want me to call them? Wow. Do we really want to talk? Do we want to talk more about Acosta, or do we want to move on?
I say we move on. Acosta's not worth a whole lot of our time. We just like to poke a little bit of fun at him and then be on our way.
Yeah, now I got to find a song that fits this. Actually. Let's see. I'm not playing Dick in a Box. All right, we got to find something here.
It would kind of work out a little bit though.
Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to find something that signifies butthurt for Acosta, but I don't have anything. Yeah,
I want to see Acosta get thrown out again.
Fuck, I forgot. I lost. See what you did there? You said something that made me lose my spot. How dare you do that? I now have lost what I was going to do.
I have lost my mind. No, go away.
I gotta pee.
What?
Oh, wait, where is it at? Okay, yeah.
Do it.
We'll be back.
All right.
This is Waylon from A Killer's Confession, so pay attention. You're listening to Brandon and Matt on the Machine Radio Show.
weekly dose of politics,
snark, and heavy metal music.
All rise, motherfucker.
For your hosts, Brandon
and Matt.
By the rum.
Oh, we are back because you love us.
Well, you're back. I'm fucking.
He's
stuffing my
snarfing
face.
crab rangoons over there. Oh, well, in light of the tragedy that happened in New Zealand, which I have not looked into all the details of that. I know it was bad.
It was very bad.
Did they catch the guy or did they take him out?
Go ahead. You'll see it.
Okay. Well, anyway, how did we word that before? Never let a disaster go to waste.
Go to waste, yeah.
Bernie Sanders, basically has jumped on this, and he says that we must follow New Zealand's lead with more gun control, because just in a matter of a couple of days, New Zealand enacted some kind of new gun control thing.
It was another knee-jerk reaction, but go ahead.
Yeah. STD Sanders is urging the Trump administration to take some real action to stop gun violence and ban assault weapons. It was sometime this morning, Thursday morning, he tweeted out that the United States should emulate the recent actions of New Zealand, where there was a mosque shooting that massacred 50 people, and it prompted the government to toughen already strict gun laws in the country.
Hey, Bernie.
This is my boomstick.
Yeah, you can go to hell, Sanders.
You know what Bernie reminds me of? Seriously. You know what he reminds me of?
What's that?
He's a pedantic, pontificating, pretentious bastard, a belligerent old fart, a worthless, steaming pile of cow dung.
Am I wrong on that?
No.
Yeah, I think, Anthony, didn't they release his manifesto? I personally, before this broadcast, did not have time to try and find it and look it up, but I believe that they actually released his. See, he had a fully automatic.
Mm-hmm. We don't have fully automatics here.
No, we don't. None of us have fully automatic weapons. We really don't. But go ahead.
Mr. Sanders, in his tweet this morning. Yeah, Cornell. He's like, this is what real action to stop gun violence looks like. We must follow New Zealand's lead, take on the NRA, and ban the sale and distribution of assault weapons in the United States.
He keeps using that word. I don't think he knows what it is.
I don't think he does either.
And you know,
some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
I don't... Man, how many times do we have to go through this? How many times do we have to explain to people what signifies an actual assault rifle by definition? It's 3-round burst or fully automatic.
Mm-hmm.
Something that is not legal. You have a semi-automatic. An AR-15 is not an M4.
Correct.
It is an M4 variant, but is not an M4. It is a civilian version of a military firearm, which, by the way, actually started out as a civilian firearm.
Mm-hmm.
Just like any other thing ever, it's been adapted for war. Everything gets adapted for war.
Well, aren't we a warlike race?
Well,
we've been warring since the beginning of time.
Yeah, but we like projecting dicks and everything too.
And blowing shit up.
All the rockets and the bombs and the bullets are all shaped like dicks. Why? Because we want to know people that they are getting fucked.
We've got the biggest one. Catch.
Well, that's why we bomb people anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what? They have bigger dicks. Bomb them. Rest in peace, George Carlin. That I did read, Anthony. I know he sent his manifesto to a lot of people, but unfortunately, right as of now, I do not have a copy. Unfortunately, I did not have time to kind of seek it out. Can you see if you can find it, or do you want me to try and find it, or what?
If you want, you can try to find it. I know I didn't actually go through this, but when I was preparing yesterday for my show, I guess he was a huge follower of a YouTuber called PewDiePie. I don't like PewDiePie because I think he's an arrogant, racist asshole.
Is that one cock? Never mind.
It probably is the same guy that you're thinking of, because he's made some really bad remarks and he's gotten in trouble for it and he's lost fans over it. But they're trying to blame this YouTuber for what happened over there.
Oh, you mean like they did with the YouTube video about the Prophet Muhammad that had like 30 views?
That caused Benghazi, is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. Carry on.
So, yeah, and I mean, come on. I mean, the guy, I'm assuming, was probably not all there. I think every one of them that we have looked at were never all there. They were a few cans short of a 12-pack. But anyway, Bernie Sanders cited an article that was in the Washington Post that detailed the action in New Zealand where Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern? I almost read that wrong. I saw it a different way. Anyway, she announced Thursday that her government was banning semi-automatics 6 days after the shooting in 2 Christchurch mosques that killed 50 people.
Extreme knee-jerk reaction.
And I guess the attacker was actually prepared for another assault. So I'm assuming he had a plan. Arden said she plans to buy back weapons that are already in circulation and prosecute anybody who doesn't comply with the ban. And this is why we have a constitution.
So let me get this straight. She's going to do all this because one person did something bad.
Yes.
So you punish the many for the because of the few.
Now, if we look at some other countries out there that have banned guns and actually monitor what happens over there, they start resulting to other weapons. It's like I said before, we are a warlike race. We're going to find somebody. We're going to find a way to commit harm to somebody, whether it's with a gun, it's with a knife, it's with, your own 2 fists. Because, the gun didn't kill somebody. That's just the tool. I'm the weapon. I'm the one that's using it. Getting back to this. What was it she said? She stated that on the 15th of March, our history changed forever. Now our laws will too. We are announcing action today on behalf of all New Zealanders to strengthen our gun laws and make our country a safer place. And what's kind of a little ironic about Sanders really wanting to push from this is, you got to look at where he's from. He comes from a state where gun ownership is high and hunting is very popular.
Yeah, but he also didn't get a job until he was like 43 years old, so,
Yeah.
But go ahead.
And I mean, he supported an assault weapons ban in 1994. And then, of course, with the Parkland shootings that happened in February of 2018, his position is hardened even more. And he's really become a strong advocate for increased gun control laws in America.
Well, of course, because it's easier to control.
Correct.
That's all it is. That's all gun control is about. Is literally the word control. It is about stopping you, especially in the state, the United States. Our Second Amendment was made because, well, we didn't want to be put under tyrannical rule ever again. And now that these people are in Congress and trying so hard, you know what their real designs are. It's to control the people. It's all about control and power. It is not about you.
Right.
You don't count to them. You may think when you vote them in that you're doing the right thing or whatever else, but you're actually doing the exact opposite. And then you got people that blindly support these people.
Some of these people just support them because, hey, my mommy and daddy are Democrats, so that's what I'm voting. No matter if they want to strip me of my rights, I'm still going to vote Democrat because I'm a moron.
It's called blind allegiance, and it's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely terrifying. And like I said, once again, referencing our new friend Anthony there, with the IRA. Have you learned anything about the IRA?
I'll have to look into it.
We'll talk about that off air. How's that?
Okay.
But he'll know what I'm talking about when it comes to the reference.
No, but like you were saying, our ancestors, they knew what they were doing when they wrote the Second Amendment. Because England said, "Hey, you're going to pay these damn taxes, and oh, by the way, we want your guns," and we laughed at them.
Yep, and then we went on Christmas and killed a bunch of them in their sleep.
Shot them all in the face.
In their sleep.
In the middle of winter.
Don't forget that shit. We crossed a fucking river and said, you know what? We ain't doing nothing. Boom.
Yep.
Fuck your couch.
Yep. we knew the importance of our people having guns. Or having weapons, period.
And we'll stand behind it till the day we die.
Yep.
What else you got on that?
That's about all I've got.
That's about all.
Mr.
All
Bernie
weekend that Bernie
Sanders.
said.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. Because that means we have to take another break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he wants to. And honestly, this lady in New Zealand, she's making a big mistake. It's not going to stop the problem. It's not a gun problem. It's a people problem. It's a heart problem.
Well, it is exactly a heart problem. But since we're going to break, and Bernie seems to want to keep pushing this whole slave mentality, basically. He wants to make sure that all of us are beholden to the government, to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, some other guys thought about that one time, and I'm a big fan of bands from around the world, and this is one song that's always been on my list of things I like. I know Mr. Anthony probably will not like it, but this band is from Brazil.
Interesting.
They know a lot about what we're talking about, so here you go. Enjoy.
Rock out.
What you listening to?
The Machine Radio Show.
What did you say? I didn't stutter. I said.
The Machine Radio Show.
You just blew my mind.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the show. And we're back. And it's time for another shot, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
One of us probably shouldn't have any more. By the way, I broke the seal and I got to piss again. Hey, well, we're in Weaponized Lost Studios, basically speaking, with the Ho-Ho Show's studio. And he's a trucker, so maybe I should leave piss bombs?
Might be a good idea.
Just piss in his jug and sit it down on the side and be like, what
Make
the
him
fuck
feel
is
like he's in his truck.
Yeah. Well, man, here we go again. Well, let's have a drink to what's going on right now, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Those of you who don't know, who live under a fucking rock, we've been kicking ISIS ass for several months now. Actually, a couple of years, really.
Since Trump took over.
Yeah, since Trump took over. And the ISIS caliphate has crumbled so badly that their last stronghold has now been liberated.
Yes.
They are on the run. So here's to all them fuckers out there that are kicking ass. My brothers in arms. Yes. That one is for you. Oh, yeah. Well, in how the hell do you say that?
What?
Baghouz, Syria.
Sounds good.
The caliphate has finally crumbled and the final offensive is over. While the official announcement has not yet been made, we've been told that the village, the last ISIS stronghold, has officially been liberated. They surrounded them on 3 different sides and basically just started kicking the living shit out of them. But go ahead.
It's the first time since we've been here in Syria. And this was coming. I actually watched this reporter. He said, he was out there and he's like, this is the first time since we've been here in Syria for 5 days that the bombs have stopped and the gunfire has ceased. It was just quiet. He's like, we have witnessed the end of the caliphate. The brutal empire that once ruled over 8 million people is gone.
Well, and, do I have to remind them that you just don't fuck with the United States?
Mm-hmm.
What happens when terrorists fuck with us?
We fuck back.
Constantly, right? and with great relish, too, by the way. So, this one's for them.
You want to play this game, bitch? You want to roll the dice against USA, bitch? Get Ahmed! That's how we play the game, baby!
That was amazing.
I fucking love that. I don't know so much about that. Anthony, Russia did have a hand in it, but they were more supporting the Assad regime as they were actually destroying ISIS because Assad actually supported ISIS to an extent. So I see where you're coming through with that, but that's not necessarily 100% factually accurate. You fuck off.
What do you want?
Anyhow, see, that's the thing is, what are you doing? What the problem is?
Bottle opener. That's what's around my neck.
Okay, then. Can we get back to the show now?
Yeah.
All right. What do you think about this? I mean, I understand where Anthony's come from. Russia and the Assad supporters destroyed ISIS. I understand where he's saying that. But that's, like I said, that's not necessarily factually true. They had a certain part to do in it, but coalition forces, including the United States, with our artillery and airstrikes, along with the Syrian, Syrian rebels, not the Assad regime.
Right. The
took
U.S.
care of business.
Yeah, those were the main forces that were bringing the pain.
Yeah, the Assad regime actually had a hand in, kind of helping ISIS instead of taking them out. The Syrian rebels that we should have backed in the first place. But go ahead.
The U.S. forces and the U.S. backed SDF forces. Sorry, that they were attacking ISIS from 3 sides. Like Brandon said, we were delivering airstrikes and everything else. We pushed them back to houses, and then from houses to tents against the Euphrates River. And honestly, they went in and they said it was easy to see how they hid for so long, and not just in tunnels but trenches and hundreds of cubby holes that were covered by tarpaulins. Which honestly it blends in with the dirt.
Right.
So.
Well, and Anthony again said Russia and the Assad supporters destroyed ISIS. That's not actually.
That's not accurate.
No.
They were supporting them.
They were yeah. But go ahead. I know where you're going with this, but
yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's see. In the end, the majority surrendered. In fact, since the start of the year, about 60,000 have dripped into the desert, and most are now held in camps. There's a major concern at the moment about what to do with the camps. The SDF has asked for U.S. support in setting up a tribunal there to prosecute them. And maybe they just need to execute them all. Because honestly, the whole thing about ISIS is it's an idea. If you're wanting to eliminate it, you're going to have to eliminate every one of them. You're going to have to wipe the idea off of the face of the planet. Let's see. And you know what? This place in Syria, this was actually where ISIS first captured territory. And
yeah,
how ironic it's where they finally lost.
Where they finally met their end.
But a lot of these people, after the fighting stopped, a lot of these people started tearing down the ISIS flags.
See, going back to Anthony, I understand why you're trying to say we have a one-sided view. That's not necessarily true either. And I don't get me wrong, I appreciate what you're saying because it makes us think outside the box as well.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, President Putin announced the end of Russia's military operations in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until 2017 that he came back, and he basically just did a mopping up operation in a certain area. On the other hand, the Syrian-backed forces through the coalition, along with several coalition forces, which includes the United States, went in there and did quite a bit of the job. In fact, that's who actually stopped, who went into this particular area and took them out, was coalition forces. That doesn't mean, when I say coalition forces, that doesn't necessarily mean that, boots on the ground for the United States went and did it. But coalition forces actually had a hand in it. Our advisors were there, and so was our artillery and airstrikes.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But our agreement with the Russians is to not let them get past a certain line, and Russia actually did that, which is, I'm not going to lie, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
They did say, okay, we're not gonna let them come this way, and they did so. Yeah.
Right.
And you know what? I'm not, Anthony, I'm going to agree with you 100% about that. The U.S. did support the initial uprising. We didn't support it. The Obama administration, the former president, did, because he went on his kick about screwing over pretty much anybody and everybody in the Middle East and destabilizing the Middle East. Look what he did with Mubarak and Egypt, and what he did with Libya, and you know exactly what I'm saying. I'm just saying it a different way than you are. So we are actually on the same page, and I appreciate everything you've been saying so far. So go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say was that even though ISIS has pretty much been eliminated there, pretty much in the Middle East, that's not the end of them in the world, though. There's still forces around the world, such as in Africa, and I think over in the Philippines. So even though we've had a great victory, we've still got a fight to go. I mean, there's still countries that are out there still fighting.
Well, yeah. Look at well, you mentioned the Philippines, didn't you?
Yeah, I think, because I said I think it was the Philippines that they were rising up into.
Oh, Anthony, we knew exactly who you meant, buddy.
What's that?
We knew exactly who you meant, my friend, Obama.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, would you look at that? All you leftists and liberals who are trolling this radio station and listening to the Machine Radio Show, even a man in Ireland agrees that Obama was a fuckhead.
Yes.
So thank you very much.
Yes.
So that is like 7 different countries that have contacted us and said that Obama is in fact, a shitbag.
Mm-hmm.
As you were, go ahead.
No, well, we said something about, you were mentioning something about the Philippines.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which the fight's continuing there, and I think they're getting ready to end it, because I think they have them cornered on an island.
They have them cornered in the northernmost island that I know of. One of the guys that I went to boot camp with, which, by the way, Anthony, I am a U.S. Marine. One of my friends that I went to boot camp with, his sister has actually contacted me sporadically, because I lost contact with him. Me and him talk about once every 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just, hey, how you doing? And that's about it. But she still lives in the Philippines. That's how he got his citizenship in the United States, was to go through the military. People say that can't happen. Bullshit, because I watched it happen personally. But his sister had said that, because I asked her, I literally asked her, I said, what's the situation in the Philippines with the ISIS radicals and whatnot? And she said they have them isolated at the other island. She's still in the area of, pardon me if I don't say it correctly, Aklan, Aklaan, I believe is what it is. And she said they are not here, they are north. And our forces have been doing really well about keeping them centralized, because I asked them about their family, you know, if their family was okay. Most of the time when I contact her, it's, are you okay? Because the Philippines has been having a real big issue with flooding.
Yeah.
But she said, yes, I am fine. Our area is fine. They have isolated them to the north, and they're on the way of pushing them out of the country, which is good. Now we just got to, once we get them out of the Philippines, we got to deal with, was Africa?
Africa, yeah.
They're in South Africa, aren't they?
I think so. I think it's like
French South Africa?
Maybe the Central West, because I know Niger is another one where they have big support of ISIS in. Which, I mean, Niger's been having some things going on that hasn't really been in the news much. There's been a lot of persecution of Christians there. And I mean, that's what I'm thinking, is a lot of it has to do with ISIS. But they have a big presence in Africa. And like I said, you know, it's the idea. The idea has to be wiped out.
Anthony, I don't know if that's going to work out. I don't know if communist China is going to assume jurisdiction over that region or not, because the Philippines were liberated by the Americans in World War II, and we've had a very big presence since then.
Right.
If that makes sense. I agree. I kind of agree to a certain point because of it being an Asian country that China should have some sort of proactive involvement in what's going on. But as of right now, the Philippines are basically an American military base. We do have a base there. But go ahead.
I don't actually know where to go from here.
You don't know where to go? What the fuck?
But honestly, it's good to see that they're dwindling down to nothing.
It's about time. And you know what? It took a president with a pair of testicles to actually do so.
To get something going, yeah.
Yeah. You know, everybody, well, at least the Democratic Party, up until he became elected, was really, really a fan of Trump until he became elected, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now there's so much against him, but they don't realize that, this man could do anything right, and they would consider it wrong. There's over, 6 different entities against him at this point in Congress? Simply because of who he is. Well...
Surprise, motherfucker.
He's doing a damn great job, and we love having him.
I'm kind of looking at this tweet from CBS.
Oh, shit. What did CBS say?
Well, it's actually pretty cool because you see a picture and somebody has pulled the ISIS flag down. It says, not a single ISIS flag in Syria, as far as the eye can see, is in eastern Syria.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
every flag has been taken down.
That's beautiful.
Yes. That is awesome.
I'm trying to find something for break, though. I don't know what to go with.
Now, hopefully, nothing else will...
We only really have one other story, but I still want to take a break in between because I got to piss.
Yeah. Again?
I broke the fucking seal, okay?
Yeah, you did.
And I don't think we have anything that would be to the liking of Mr. Anthony, though.
I seriously doubt we do. I mean, I think the lowest we got would be like Flaw, or I don't even know if we have anything milder than Flaw.
Seriously, do we?
I don't think we do.
I'm looking through and I'm not seeing shit. You know what? What about our friends from Outrun the Fall?
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, we'll play Outrun the Fall and we'll be right back because one of us has to pee.
We are
Hey guys, the song stopped.
Sorry about that. I'm like trying to get out of the chair. I'm like, oh crap, the song stopped.
Dude, why'd you do that to me? I was in there taking a piss. Oh fuck, I lost my spot. See what you did right there. Anyhow, Senate bill would raise gas tax by 19 cents per gallon, of course, in the state of Illinois. And I don't know if this is the right one, but we got to play this. It's time for a random thought from the Machine Radio Show. This is Brandon from the Machine Radio Show. Aren't taxes like a subscription to your country that you can't cancel, no matter how bad the service gets? This has been your random thought from the Machine Radio Show. How unprofessional. I know, I took too long. Hey, I'm sorry. It's a lot of meat that I got to hold. I might be a short guy, but, never mind. But that is absolutely true. And, of course, the state of Illinois is, again, trying to fuck us without a kiss. As I said, the Senate, this particular Senate bill would raise the state gas tax by 19 cents per gallon to fund road and bridge repairs. This is the same state that told us when they did the toll roads that the toll roads would only last so long. And that was for roads and education, right?
Yeah,
because
roads and education.
That's what we were told, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were wrong because it never got used for that. And therefore, you're driving down the road and there's a hole in the fucking ground the size of a Buick. And you got to dodge that bitch. But the bill was introduced this week in the state Senate that would double the Illinois gas tax. As if gas isn't fucking high enough.
Yeah.
It would go from 19 cents to 38 cents per gallon and hike vehicle registration fees to pay for repairs. So they're not just trying to fuck you with the fuel, they're also trying to fuck you with your vehicle registration fees, which is also, by the way, the third highest in the United States.
Which I think, in turn, they're also going to increase driver's license fees.
Great. I love getting bent over and
I get to pay
money.
more to drive my vehicle.
It's going to become like Road Warrior in this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be knocking people off for gasoline, and I am not going to put a sticker back on my vehicle. They want me to come get me because I can't afford. I drive, I've got a couple vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
One of which is inoperable right now because of the fucking tornado. But that means I got two different license plates. I got two different sets of insurance. I got two different vehicles that need fuel. One of them gets better gas mileage than the other, which is obviously the car, which is inoperable right now. But my mainstay, my main vehicle is a truck that is four-wheel drive and does not get great gas mileage because it's meant to kick ass. Right?
Right.
So what is this going to do to someone like me who has to use their vehicle for work?
It's going to hose you. So you're going to be paying more for your registration fee. When you have to get your driver's license renewed, you're going to have to pay more for that. You're going to be paying more in gas. And I like how they stated that, that the state has been underfunding the transportation infrastructure for decades. What do you mean by underfunding? You ain't done a damn thing with it, period. What have you been doing with the money?
We're blowing it all in Chicago, of course.
Oh, I mean, we got streets around here that are in some serious need of repair.
You think?
And like me, because I work in Decatur, I travel Route 48. Route 48 is like a shithole. It's nothing but potholes.
I can't even
from
drive
here to there.
I can't even drive my car down 48. Last time I took that car to Decatur, I'm pretty sure every filling I had just rattled out because it was a terrible road.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that we went back to like 1918 where all the roads were still most of the roads were still mud.
Yeah,
because that's what it felt like. It was painful to drive. And I feel for this man because, you know, I'm the one that sold him the car, so the suspension's not great. I wasn't going to put any more money in the car. But you know what? We can't complain too much about it, can we?
No, not really.
Because it's lasted you quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But at your work, carry on.
Hold on a minute. I gotta get resituated.
No, he fucked up. Resituated means he fucked up.
Yeah, you know, like I was saying, you know, I find it amusing. They said they've been underfunding, you know, the transportation infrastructure for decades. And the end result, this is what they're saying. The end result is now that we have pothole-ridden roads that we can't afford to fix and more than 2,300 bridges that are rated as structurally deficient.
You think?
Just a little bit. The problem has been left to worsen for too long, and now is the time for leadership and decisive action.
But it's your fucking fault.
Yeah, because you guys haven't been putting money into anything.
No, you spend the money on the one major city that's in the entire country or entire Illinois. I say country, fuck off. But you know what I'm saying.
And they estimate that Illinois needs $4 billion a year for over 10 years to be in a state of good repair. So does that mean they're going to be shafting us with these taxes for 10 years? Apparently, Illinois is behind most other states in finding new money for transportation. Since 2012, 31 states have approved plans to raise additional transportation revenues, mostly through a hike in the gas tax. But I'm pretty sure that they just don't hike the gas tax every time they turn around like we do here in Illinois.
You'd had better luck picking up a turd by its clean end.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, this is really going to, I mean, this is going to hurt a lot of people. Your delivery drivers, people who, you know, drive to work for a living.
Right.
This is going to hurt a lot of people. Anybody, especially in the small towns that have to drive to, you know, Springfield, you know, Decatur,
yeah.
Peoria, Bloomington, Chicago, and, you know, Aurora, any places like that, you know, these little rural areas are going to be hurt by this, and they're going to be hurt very badly. And they don't seem to get it. They seem to think that any time that they shove a tax, it's just going to be great, you know, all fine and dandy. Oh, we got the money. You know, we're loaded. Bullshit. I mean, I don't even know where to go with that because, I mean, like I said, I drive a truck that gets maybe on its best day, absolutely, you know, you're talking downhill with the wind behind you, maybe 15 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
You drove the fucker to work. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You know, it costs you 20, you know what, $10 a day just to move it back and forth.
Yeah, it was roughly about like $10 or $12 a day. Just
And that
to
was when
drive it.
and that was when gas was lower.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine now? It'd be like $12, $15 a day. Where's your paycheck going to go?
Yeah.
To pay you to go to work.
Dude, this bill is actually kind of scary. It's talking about it would increase passenger vehicle registration from $98 to $148. That's for you know, the vehicles we have. Electric vehicles would go from $17.50 to $148. Those people are going to shit a brick. Driver's license fee would go from $30 to $60. It's going to double. And truck registration fees would rise by $100.
Say that again.
Truck registrations fees would rise by about $100.
What the fuck? Like we don't have. Never mind.
And that's just on top of the gas tax. It's already ridiculous now that we have to pay $100 for a freaking sticker every year. I'm really not wanting to pay $150 for one.
No, and again, with someone who has multiple vehicles, you know, think about it.
Yeah, that's $150 a pop.
Yeah, and then let's add my trailers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the trailers onto it. What about the motorcycle? They don't realize what they're doing, do they? They don't realize that they're literally with every tax destroying people's lives. You know, remember back in the day, we threw tea into a harbor over a 3% tax. Now they're wanting to shove 5, 10, 20% tax on this, and 2 and 3% tax on this, and it gets to the point to where we have most people don't even realize how many or how much taxes that they pay in a day, do they?
No.
I mean, add it up, between your motor fuel tax, your license plates, your insurance, going to the store, and everything else like that. You're paying a substantial amount of your income already in taxes. So to what end? When is this going to stop?
It's not, because you remember not too long ago, what did the state of Illinois do? It raised minimum wage. So over the next, 10 years, minimum wage is supposed to go up to like $15 an hour. And what did we say? When that happens, it's going to be a vicious cycle. Well, hey, you're making more money, so we can tax you more now. So, hence these taxes that are coming. And then you're going to scream that you need more money to live, so you're going to want minimum wage to go up again, so they're going to raise it again, so they're going to raise your taxes up more. When are you guys going to wake up to this?
Exactly.
And I know, and I've been waiting for something to happen. So this is the beginning of it. And it's, I guarantee you, it's not going to stop here. They'll be raising taxes all over the place on everything. I mean, hell, the taxes that they got on cigarettes right now is just phenomenal. Feel sorry for people who smoke. It's like, you guys need to start switching over to vaping.
No shit.
It's a hell of a lot cheaper.
Well, until you go into buying these really nice fancy devices.
That's true.
Sigali bitches. I know, especially in we're state number 50 of 50, and what I mean by that is we are the bottom of the barrel.
Right, we are.
We are the worst, literally, aside from California and New York, we are the worst state in the union.
And that's why we have so many people moving out of the state.
Yeah, and it's not just the people, it's the businesses. The businesses are like, fuck this, we're out of here. I know personally, as a business owner myself, I'm not going to hire anybody. Can't afford to.
You can't afford to.
It'll put me under before I even get going.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry. But it is what it is. I mean, this is what's going to happen. I think that's all we got on that, isn't it?
I think so.
Well, that's fucking boring.
Well, I'm trying to see here. Was it doubling the state gas tax would bring Illinois to the second highest overall gas tax burden in the nation?
Second only to California, right?
Right. So, I mean, we're making fame, but not in a good way. And honestly, yeah, we can't afford this shit.
So again, the T-shirt that my company made for the state of Illinois, which is called the Illifornia T-shirt, is actually perfect because whatever California does, Illinois is sure to parrot.
Yep.
And what they don't understand is the only reason why California is able to survive at all is because of military bases and it's a coastal state. We're in the middle of, we're the asshole of the United States. Okay, we are the center section of the United States. So, yeah, That's not going to work for us because we have no stake in coastal work or anything else like that. That's the only thing that's keeping California alive.
Yeah.
The only thing that's keeping us alive is largely nothing. But that being said, I think we're pretty much done for the night, aren't we?
That was the last article.
You sure? We don't have any more?
I don't think so.
You're positive?
I think so.
Okay. I guess we'll end the show then. I mean, as much as I like to sit here and talk all fucking night. I mean, I love it. But that being said, I guess we're going to have to cut it out.
Yeah, I think we're going to.
We are out of here for the night. We'd like to thank everybody for joining us. And it's pretty awesome to have Anthony from Ireland join us.
Absolutely.
And we hope we have you back next week. Trust me, it's never a dull moment around here, bud.
Never. Not at all.
Hold on a second. He's asking a question. What is the main industry? What do you mean?
Need a little more information on what you're wanting to know.
I mean, the show is technically over, but we'll answer your question. What exactly do you mean? What is the main industry? And we'll wait for a response because we know we have a delay.
Yeah, we totally understand that.
The main industry of Illinois, well, there really isn't much of one because the government has regulated or taxed them into oblivion. But if there was any, I would say maybe, coal production.
Mm-hmm. I would say coal.
Coal production and steel manufacture.
Right. Those would be the two mains.
That would be the two mains, but in the state of Illinois, of course, if you're part of the government, you're fantastic, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, we appreciate you for joining us, Anthony. I hope you have us. Hope we have you back next week. Hope you have us. I mean, that sounds kind of kinky.
Ooh.
But we are going to end the show for tonight, and we're going to bail out of here. But thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be back.
And if you liked what you heard, you can find us on Spreaker, and you can hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, do so.
Yeah, you got to subscribe to Spreaker, YouTube, Spreaker.
Wherever else we're at.
Mixer, Twitch, Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, and, you can get on your Google Play Store and download the app, WSP.FM.
Look for the icon that has a sloth on it.
We are the Sloth, baby.
We are the Weaponized Sloth.
Weaponized Sloth Productions. All right, we are out of here for the night. Appreciate you.
See you guys. Have a good week.